What's going on, you guys? This is Andy Kinda 88 bringing you guys a new video today. And today I am going to go through everything you need to know about OBS, all the settings, tell you guys how to optimize different settings to your build. I'm going to go into much greater detail than a lot of videos you see on YouTube. That's the problem I found with YouTube. Yes, I found the information I needed on all the OBS tutorials, but the problem is they left one little minor detail out that really would have helped, or they're very vague on one thing, or they don't know what the hell they're talking about at all, or they say one thing and it's actually meant for another setting. You got to watch like 10 videos to actually understand it all. I'm going to do my best to try to nail every little factor that ties into streaming, recording, everything you need to know to be able to optimize your setup to the way you need to for streaming and everything. So first things first, I'm going to go ahead and explain this to you. So you go to obsproject.com, okay? You're going to see two different settings. You got the OBS multi-platform and the Windows 7, 8, 10, whatever. It's the 0.657 version. Now, this is the thing. A lot of stuff is geared towards a Windows operating system. So if you don't have a computer and you're looking to get into streaming, get Windows. Stream Tip, Twitch alerts, all those different like websites and stuff like that that want to do stuff for different alerts and have that fancy stuff pop up on your screen. A lot of that stuff is what we call plugins, and a lot of these multi-platform doesn't really support like plugins all that great. So that's why I'm recommending Windows, and when stuff comes out, it's always geared towards Windows. So first things first, just go over here. If you have Windows, click this. If you have Linux, OS X, whatever, if you have Windows, don't download this. And this is another thing. If you download it, use the 32-bit version. Andy, why use 32-bit? 2-bit? Wow, 64 is so much better. Well, a lot of capture cards don't support the 64-bit. They only support 32 because they're only 32-bit, operating capture cards. So that's why I'm telling you about download the 32-bit version, and that's why I'm telling you to use Windows if you can. The multi-platform is a little bit nicer. They kind of simplified a little bit. It's pretty much the same thing, but like I said, there's a lot more options. You can get a lot more creative with the Windows version. So download the Windows only. Now we're going to jump into OBS, and it's going to get a little bit crazy around here because like it's going to multiply my face because I'm actually using OBS to record this video right now. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into the monitor capture. Oh my god, that's a lot of Vandicandas. But that's okay. So let's go ahead and you can either click up here and click settings right here. I know it's hard for you to see because it's like multiplied. Or you can go down here to where it says settings. I know you guys see all these scenes and stuff like that. I'm not even going to explain that right this moment, but boom, let's go into settings. So first things first. Okay, I have OBS. I have my settings open, blah, blah, blah. What is all this stuff? You got general, encoding, broadcast settings, video, audio, hotkeys, advanced, quick sync encoder, browser, microphone, noise gate, which you can see moving around because I'm actually using it. And then you got this thing called scene switcher, which I don't use because there's no need for me to. So first things first, you're going to open up this thing. This is general. You can create a profile, whatever you want to use. Right now, it's grayed out because I'm actually using it, but you can add profiles and different stuff. And you can also enable cursor over projector and stuff like that. Just leave these settings alone. What they pretty much do is like, this is your profile. The language is going to be the language it says in OBS. Notification area icon, minimize notification area. All this stuff is different things that pop up. Notifications for OBS. Uncheck those. You don't need that stuff. You don't need a log window showing OBS launches unless you are like trying to read diagnose things, which you shouldn't have an issue doing. Pretty much when you open up OBS, it's going to bring up your log window. If you guys don't know what that is, then you have no reason to be messing with it. Pretty much it's something that you really don't need to worry about. Now, this is a big thing, encoding. Before I even get into encoding, let's get the broadcast settings and you'll see why. Right now, I am using file output only because I'm just recording. If you're going to be streaming, click on live stream, okay? When you click on live stream, it's going to ask you what you want to stream for. If you're going to use Ustream, you click Ustream. If you're going to use YouTube, what is that called now? I don't even know what the YouTube's new broadcasting thing is because it's kind of like YouTube gaming, I think it's called. And then you got, Twitch. I use Twitch, so just select Twitch. Boom, and then you got this thing called file path. This is for recording. Pretty much you can go ahead, you can click browse here, and then you got all these kind of different stuff. These are all my videos and stuff, but you pretty much just pick a folder that you want to where all your videos go for if you want to record or not. The reason we're skipping encoding is because we're going to get to that in a minute. Okay, and then you have this thing called video. First things first, what is your monitor? Is it 1920 by 1080? Is it one of them goofy size monitors that's like, just an odd shape and has different pixels? But pretty much. Now, when you, most people use a 1080p monitor. If it's 1080p, then your resolution is going to be 1920 by 1080. You can pick custom, or you can just select the monitor. People will tell you not to select the monitor. I mean, realistically, you can. It's not going to kill you. And then what you do is, you want to downscale. So if you're using a 1080p monitor, you always want to downscale by 1.5. Everybody says, oh, but the streamers have this great quality. Guys, 99.99% of streamers broadcast in 720. The reason being is because, A, there's not a lot of people that have the internet speed that can watch it. It will just buffer and lag, and it actually is really hard on your CPU, and it's hard on OBS. It's just, everything's downscaled, and what you do is you use this thing called Lens Coach. You're going to see a different settings. So you're going to see bilinear settings, trilinear, and Lens Coach, or Lanczos, whatever we want to call it. Pretty much what this is if you're into PC gaming and stuff like that, it's your samples. It's how many samples you're going to run. I'm running best detail 36 samples. That's the max rate, and you can also change your frame rate. If you, guys, you've got a beast computer, you can run 60. And if you have a capture card that, like the Elgato HD60 that can run 60 frames per second, then yeah, run it. But if your build's not that great, I recommend running 30. So pretty much this is your frame rate. This is your sample filter on how detailed your picture is going to be. If you guys have slow internet speed, or if it's hi there. My niece is stopping in to say hi. Or if it's you don't have a high internet speed. If you're running I'm not going to call you CPU crappy, but if you're using a lower end CPU like an i3 or i5, some of the i5s you don't even be running this high of a detail. It depends. Right here you also have your video adapter. I'm using the R9 295X2, so I'm using the 200 series. So I'm using that. You can use your graphics processor. If you just have an internal graphics processor, that's fine. But you're not going to be able to stream at that high of a quality. You might have to pick around on your custom resolution or what you want. And then you also have here, let's go to audio. Right now I'm using audio software. It changes my voice. Pretty much this is for your microphone. And then you got your desktop audio device on what you want your what you want your OBS to pick up. So if you want your like right now, my desktop audio, my audio default for my desktop is through my my Astro amp. So, but you can also do it through whatever. You can set this to your computer speakers, whatever. So if you want music to play through your stream, I recommend using your computer, speakers. Or if you're using like a headphone jack off your PC, you can also plug in your headset to your computer, and it will also pick up any desktop audio as well. Pretty much you can pick this to be whatever you want. So you pick what you want it to be. Like, oh, my transmitter, what I call it. It's pretty much your Astro mix amp is what I'm using. But I don't want to use my voice meter, because then I'm just going to hear my voice, and that's all the audio that's going to pick up. So pick something that's going to be picking up all the audio in your computer. So if it's your speakers, choose your speakers. If it's your headset, pick your headset. But you can also default it through your computer and just leave it at default. Microphone, only time I would change this is if you are all right, this is how I do it. I'm going to explain something. I know this is going to be a lot. I know I'm talking really fast. If you need to pause the video, go ahead and do that. Oh my God, there she goes. So, she's crazy. She gets her from her Uncle Andy. So, I have a Blue Snowball. I have a voice meter software I'm using, and I also have a headset, and I also have a microphone coming from my camera. So this is how I talk on Discord. I talk to people in the game, and I also talk to you guys while I'm streaming. This is the software I use. Pretty much I have my Blue Snowball selected right now. Then what I do is, for my default underneath my, for my PC, I use my Astro headset. So that way I can talk to people on Discord. So I can talk to people in Discord. You know, my if since I have this default to my computer, it's going to pick up the sound of the people talking in Discord. So your chat and everybody, or your viewers, you know, you can call it, you know, they can hear their voice and hear the conversation of what's going on. It makes it a little bit interesting when you stream. Now, if you, hypothetically you don't want that, you can be very picky on what picks up on where. Like I said, if you just want your headset to pick up off the game, then you can have just the game audio or not. It doesn't matter. There she goes. So, I mean, yeah. And then you got this thing called push to talk delay milliseconds. Don't mess with that. There's no reason to do that. If you have a delay in your mic, this is where you play around with that. Your mic sync. Mine, personally, around 170 is perfect. If you are like 30 milliseconds off, be honest with you, it's not really going to make a difference. And then I have my mic auxiliary boost. I don't have to boost this. I used to boost it up to 2, but I'm not going to click on that right now because I'll blow your eardrums out probably. But if you have, let's say, like a Blue Snowball or a Yeti and you got it sitting on your desk, you can actually turn this up like 1 or 2 notches, and then you can actually watch your noise gate down here. Well, it's not really your noise. Well, it is your noise gate, but you can actually watch the audio pickup. If it's like jumping up to the microphone right there, you are plenty loud. If it's stuck on high, off of you whispering, you have it way, way too loud. I will get to what you should run for your audio settings. You trying to burn some energy there, children? But anyway, so yeah. And so you got your mic boost, desktop boost. You probably don't need to mess with that. If you want to adjust your volume for your desktop, you can just go to your normal desktop settings, adjust your volume, and that will pick up. I mean, I've never seen any reason why to boost your desktop audio. I've never had to do it. I don't see the reason why to ever do it. And then, you know, the push to talk milliseconds, that's if you're using push to talk. Pretty much that's if you set a hotkey to, and I'll explain what hotkeys are here in a minute. But if you press a hotkey, that's how many milliseconds it's going to take before your voice will start registering in the hotkey. So let's say you want to be able to talk, but you don't want the chat to hear you for some reason until you press a button and allow them to hear you. That's what that is for. So, and force microphone auxiliary mono, don't do that, because then people listening with headsets, they're going to hear your voice and everything coming out of one speaker, which is stupid. And then show only connected devices is pretty much any devices that you might have saved, it's going to show up, but if you have this unchecked. But if you have it checked, it's only going to show devices that are connected to your computer at the moment. As you can see, I have a lot of stuff that I use when I'm streaming connected at all times. All right, now we're going to go ahead and jumping to encoding now that you got your voice and stuff set up. This is going to be totally different than what I have right now, because right now I'm using this for recording. These are good recording settings. Pretty much what this is, that's pretty much saying 3.5 megabytes is when I get done this video, is what the upload speed is. So people with a download speed around 3.5 will be able to watch my video in 1080p. Now, YouTube's fine because you can, you know, change the quality options. You can make it high, medium, low, or whatever resolution, depending on what your internet speed is. I want the people to be able to watch this in high definition if they like to, so I'm going to do it at 3.5 megabytes, which is plenty. If people were going to be watching it, you know, on Twitch, and you're not partnered, you're not going to want to run that. Unless you're somebody that gets 50, 60 viewers every single time, because then they'll, you know, more than likely you'll get quality options. But read carefully, because Twitch only gives that out if it's available. So if you got to, like, if everybody that's partnered decides to start streaming, they're going to give those guys quality options, and, you know, they're locked in with it because they want to make sure their viewers can see their, you know, their broadcast. If you go ahead and you can go to either ookla.net or your ISP or your internet service provider's website, check your internet speed. Upload speed is very, very important when it comes to streaming. It's not download, it's upload speed. So for every, let's say, 1,000 kilobytes, it's about a megabyte. Okay, so if you're running 12 megabytes upload, that's about 12,000. You're good. So, you're not going to want to set that to, oh, I got really fast internet, I can set it to, no, don't do that. Twitch only actually allows 3,500 megabytes. That's actually, or kilobytes. That's actually, about what every website really takes. So, depending on what you're streaming on, that's a safe zone for streaming if you're partnered and, you know, you want to be able to have the best quality as possible. Now, if you are not partnered, I recommend doing it at 2,000 on each one. The reason being, that's your buffer size. That's going to keep your from jumping high or low. If you have like 6 MB upload, then 2 is perfect. Okay, if you're running about 5, you might want to drop it down to like 1500, 1600. It might be a little bit pixelated if you're running certain encoding options. I will get to that, but I'm not going to get to that right this second. So you got these options up here. You got your own encoder x64. That is using your processor in your computer to encode your graphics. Andy, what's encoding? Encoding is pretty much how it transfers graphics, you know, and puts it out to other people on the internet. We'll just make it simple like that. And then you got this thing called quick sync. Don't use it. It's garbage. I don't care what you're using. It's garbage. It's just a poor version to convert your graphics and broadcast it. Then you got the NVIDIA NVENC. I've never used it. I know people that have like a GTX 980, 960 type deal. A lot of them use this. That is using your graphics card to encode, which isn't bad either. Does that make NVIDIA better? Not necessarily. If you have a really good processor, it's probably going to be better than NVIDIA. So depending on what you're using, you might want to actually still use your CPU for encoding. But yeah, so right around 2000 if you're not partnered and you got at least 6 megs upload. Andy, what if I have really crappy internet? I got a solution for you as long as you got a beefy computer. Okay. I recommend your bit rate running 96. Oh, I don't know why I selected that. I want to keep the 128 for this video. It's not going to change till, yeah, see. And that's another thing. If you're streaming, guys, you can't really stream and change your settings. You got to kind of stop your stream and broadcast it. Just make your stream title stream test. I do it all the time. Yeah, I get people that jump in and talk and BS with me. But if I'm having issues and I want to get everything, because my biggest deal is I want to bring the best quality, but I want to bring a variety. I don't want to just stream so everybody with the beast internet can watch. You know, there's many people out there, and they could care how crappy the quality is. They just want to watch and listen. And then you got people like, oh, this looks like poop. I'm not playing this. I'm not watching this. You know, that's fine. They can go to another stream. You know, there's not everybody's there for everybody. But, I mean, you do it around like 2000, you're fine. I always tell people, try to pick about whatever your 30-year bandwidth is. But don't go over 3,500 megabytes because that is actually the maximum amount that Twitch will even allow. If you are, you know, recording like I am right now, 3,500 is perfect. I don't really like all that stuff right there. Can I minimize? Nope, I can't. Okay, we'll just leave it like that because I don't like haven't seen like 30 hit. There's a lot of Andys on the screen right now. Anyway, codec, you don't want to do MP3, AAC, best for recording. MP3 is obviously MP3 file. AAC is best for streaming. It's AAC file. I do it at 48 kilohertz. That's what I recommend. So bitrate, make it 96, or you can even go 120 or 112. I don't recommend going any higher or any lower than that. And you want it in stereo. You do not want it mono. Like I said, if you make it mono, it's probably going to play through one speaker in their headset. But but I didn't touch base on this yet. So what's CBR and enable CBR padding and all other fun stuff? This means custom bit rate. What this does is, and that's automatically going to adjust your quality balance. But pretty much using custom bit rate is allowing you to customize what your bit rate is for broadcasting on the internet. And then you also got this thing called custom buffer size. Like I said, that's saying that, okay, I'm streaming at 2000. My buffer size is 2000. It's not going to let it go above or below that. It's going to smooth sailing. That's what I'm saying. If you got internet that's like, let's say you have 2.5 megabytes upload and you got 10 people in your house using the internet and different things, that's going to fluctuate and that's going to affect your stream and might even have you get kicked offline. So that's why I recommend just using like probably what a 30-year bit rate is. If you have over 6 megabytes, you shouldn't have a problem broadcasting, especially if you have solid, you know, bandwidth to where it doesn't fluctuate a lot. Enable CBR padding, which is custom bitrate padding. That is a feature that your CPU does. And then again, I explained the custom buffer size. So that's pretty much all those settings. Okay. So the next thing in broadcast settings, I showed you in recording. I'm actually going to show you in live stream. So I told you what it was for Twitch stuff. I wasn't sure if I'd switch it, if it would kick me off, because like I said, I'm actually using OBS to record this, and I can't open more than one OBS, window. It's just the way it works, because I think it actually runs it like I run mine as administrator just because it prioritizes it. By the way, if you're going to stream, just run OBS as administrator. It will help a little bit. It will give it a little bit more priority. So if you got other stuff open, it will let other stuff, hiccup before it lets your OBS, crash or anything. So streaming service, this is what I was explaining to you. You got YouTube, YouTube Gaming, Cyber Game TV, Hitbox, ConnectCast, Azubu. I haven't heard of half of this stuff. Wow, it doesn't actually have Ustream. I thought it would. Well, there's custom, so you can do a custom. But pretty much, yeah, so you're going to go ahead and select Twitch if you're going to stream to Twitch. So you got this thing called FMS URL. Pretty much what this is saying, like, what server are you going to ping off of to broadcast to wherever you're going to broadcast off. My suggestion to you, and it doesn't always work this way, pick the place closest to you. So closest place to me is Hong Kong. Kappa. But pretty much, depending on where you are, so if you're on the West Coast, pick one of these areas that are as close to you in the West Coast. If you're in the United States, Central America, and Eastern America, well, actually Central, you guys get gypped. You only get one. But East Coast, there's a few here. Just pick your closest location, and then you also got Europe, Asia, Australia. Australia's only got one, so if you're sitting in Australia, you might be okay. That or your shit's going to get overwhelmed. Oh, never mind. You got West Coast. You got San Francisco also. So, yeah. Pretty much, you get a little bit more choices if you're on the East Coast. But there's a way to ping your stuff to test server stuff. I'm not going to show it because I don't want people to know my information. So, but pretty much you can just Google. I think it's called JTTV. Just type in JTV ping again, JTV ping, in Google. And it will actually bring up, I can actually bring up this. And what this does is, I'm going to keep it low. Yeah, so obviously it's not going to be in Asia or Australia because I'm in the United States. But pretty much what this does is, it tells you actually your information on what your best ping rate is. But if you want to, you can type in Twitch TV ingest latency checker or JTV ping. And you should find the download for that. And then that will work out for you. And then you can find out what your best server is. And then you can go ahead and select. It's the list of all these servers. This is another thing. So auto reconnect, you want that to have checked. Let's say if you have internet spike or whatever, it will actually go ahead and reconnect your OBS. It'll reconnect your stream. Your stream will cut out. It will automatically reconnect. Happens to me all the time. I've been DDoSed several times. Somebody DDoSes you, then it will bring your stream back up. More than likely, if they, I'm not going to tell you guys what I use, but there is the thing called a VPN that you can download, and that will actually give you a little bit more protection against the, a-holes on the internet, les trolleys. And then you have delay. This is actually your stream delay. I used to run it at like 15, but between the delay on Twitch and the delay through my OBS, it ended up being like people wouldn't hear what I'm saying until like 30 seconds later. And then as people are watching, that delay actually increases. So I changed that to 1. I recommend trying it at 1. And then if you need more, like a more buffer size, pretty much you need your video to go out before it actually broadcast, you can increase it little by little and just test it out. Guys, a lot of this stuff, believe it or not, is trial and error. I had to do it. My build is really beefy. It might be a little bit different than you guys. You just got to try it out pretty much. But I definitely recommend auto reconnect timeout. Set that to 1. Delay seconds, set that to 1. This is something I'm going to tell you not to hit unless you have a decent computer. If it's not beefy, like you're not running like, I'm going to say like a strong i5 or i7, don't run this. An AMD, I don't know all the processor names because I'm just not an AMD processor fan, even though I do love the graphics card I have. But pretty much, yeah, don't click on minimize network impact. That won't affect your stream. Automatically save stream the file. This is a thing that if you want to stream and record at the same time, you can check that. If you're not going to stream and record, just leave it unchecked. If you're just going to be streaming and you're not worried about recording while streaming, don't even mess with that. And then there's another option. If you do decide to record, This right here will actually keep recording of live stream even if it stops. So that's all that stuff. Now I'm going to go to something that's specific, and it's blacked out. All the digits are always the same count. But this is your stream key. I recommend changing this every time you broadcast. Somebody's always out there to get your account, to get on your stream. People will put some crap on there that you would not believe and try to get you banned. Change this every single time. If you don't know where to get this, I'm going to go ahead and help you guys out. Whoa. 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 So I'm going to go ahead and just bring this up right here. You could just click stream key. I have this thing blown up from my chat, this window. But you could go ahead and just Google your stream key, and then it'll automatically be logging into Twitch and take you there. If you don't know where to find it, it's in your dashboard. So when you go on the Twitch's homepage, I don't know about YouTube and all that stuff. I don't know where their stream key is, but for Twitch, I know it's in the dashboard. And then you would go ahead and click here and click stream key. And then you would click show key. I'm not going to do that because you guys don't need to know what my stream key is. But yeah, so you would click show key. It would ask you, never share this information. It gives you big red letters, blah, blah, blah. And then you click I understand, and it shows you the key. So yeah, that's how you get your stream key if you want to get that. And then we got a thing called microphone noise gate. I'm going to get in depth with this, and I'm going to take a drink of water because I'm losing my voice talking. Okay. Apologize for that. So now we have a thing called a closed threshold and an open threshold. This is called a microphone noise gate. If you notice as I'm talking, the meter's moving. If I stop talking, the meter stops. So this is going to depend on how far your mic is away from you, and also oh, cool. This is okay. Yeah, so this is going to depend on how far the mic is away from you and how close your mic is and what kind of mic you have, what kind of background noise you have, and all that other fun stuff. So how I determine this is, like, if I sit here just quiet and I don't say anything, the meter just kind of stays below. You don't want to like move this down to where the meter is when it stops. Like right there where my mouse is now. Because my mic's closer, I actually adjusted it up higher. But to let you guys know what this does is, right now I have background noise. The meter moving when I'm quiet is actually my microphone picking up background noise. Actually, my niece is watching cartoons right now, and my mic is picking it up, but you guys can't hear it because I'm not allowing it to. So what you got to do is pretty much watch where your noise gate level is when you're quiet. When you do, tweak it up a little bit. While you're closed. Close is when you start initially talking, the first like sound wave that comes out, it's going to pick up that frequency. So when I start talking, it's like a, well, not, I don't want to say higher frequency, but it's louder, I guess you call it. So as I'm talking louder, it's, as soon as it moves above that bar, bam, it's going to pick up in the stream. Now, as I'm talking and I get quieter, if I just talk a little bit quieter, as my voice cuts out, boom, it cuts out over to the to where the open threshold. Closed, you might get these confused. Closed threshold is actually when you're speaking. Open threshold is right when it gets back to that sound level, what your bass noise level is. Pretty much when your background noise. You want these meters above your background noise because you don't want to be streaming while a bunch of crap is going on. You can literally have, a family in there arguing about who's getting the last piece of chicken or whatever, and you can have them screaming, yelling, and throwing pots and pans and yelling at each other and not have your mic pick it up if you adjust your noise gate properly. Now, this is a key factor that I'm going to tell you guys that I figured out, and it works with anything because I've used several different mics. Doesn't matter what you use, when first talk in a normal voice, see where the meter goes. You kind of want to go about yay high above when you're quiet. It's kind of hard to explain because every time I talk, the meter moves. Okay, so you see where my mouse is now. That's like how that's where it is with my background noise. That's where the level is. So what I did is I just started talking normally. And when I started talking normally, I could see where the meter's fluctuating at. You want to kind of find the base of your voice right when you cut off, right where it starts to go down at. That's where you want to start. If you guys want to try my settings, you're more than welcome to. My mic is about 5 inches away from my face, and this works pretty good for me. But this is a key factor that I figured out that works on all mics that I was saying earlier. So my decibel level is negative 29 right now. And then my decibel level for my open threshold is negative 26. You always want your open threshold about 3 decibels higher. But Andy, 26 is a lower number. Guys, it's negative 29. Okay. And then you want to add 3 decibels higher equals negative 26. And that way when you're talking, that's like a good guess, you want to say ballpark of like when you're talking and when your voice drop off is, it will actually cut off. Excuse me. So yeah. All right, now we got a thing called scene switcher. And we haven't even got into, I mean, I know this is a really long video, guys, but like I said, I'm trying to explain everything in depth. If I miss something, you guys got a question, please comment in the comments below. I will get back to you ASAP. Usually it's same day unless you like message me while I'm sleeping or something. But I'm always, answering emails, answering messages, answering whispers on Twitch, answering direct messages on different things. I always try to get back to all my people that as fast as I can. So, scene switcher, before even getting the scene switcher, let's get the scene. So, did I cover everything? We talked about profile. We talked about encoding, which that's back at 3500. By the way, if you're recording, this is good. A lot of people say disable CBR and use 10. You can use it. It's fine. It's going to probably default to 10. That's all, You'll see a lot of people say that stuff. And when you go to live stream, set it to whatever live stream settings you need to set it to. Yeah, we pretty much covered everything there. And then you go in and go to video. Like I said, you want to downscale. If you are going to be streaming, downscale to 720. And then you can use bilinear, bicubic sharper, I'm sorry, and Lance goes, okay, cool. So it's actually showing it because I actually put it in the streaming settings. So yeah, you can click on this. Bilinear if you don't really have a really high-end CPU. Bicubic sharper and Lance goes. There's something else that we need to cover that we did not cover. This is your advanced settings. Okay. This is where it can get a little bit tricky, but don't get overwhelmed. It's okay. It's fine. If you go to advanced or you do some settings, it's going to say like right here, your settings are not optimized, blah, blah, blah. Just go ahead and click optimized. I know you might panic, like, why is the thread stuff on my screen? It's okay. Just go ahead and click optimized. Then you want to go ahead and go down. Once you're optimized, go to advanced. There's going to be a lot of stuff here. You're like, oh my God, what's all this technical crap? Leave it pretty much default. Only time you need to change this, and this comes to my people that have a beefy computer but crappy internet, okay? First off, yes, you can set it to a high, above normal, whatever. That shouldn't mess up your computer or anything like that. All it does is give it priority when, the level is run. Like if I have let's say you have 5 windows open. The order you open those windows is the order that it's going to open or whatever. It's going to process it in your task manager. What this is going to do is going to give OBS more priority. You can just leave it at normal. It's fine. Just open it as an admin and you'll be okay. The buffer millisecond times, I keep mine at 700. It defaults at 700. It recommends it at 700. Some broadcasters change it for some reason. I guess it's because they give their pretty much you want to give your stream more buffer time before it's actually broadcasted. Pretty much what it's doing is loading up your stream a little bit more and then broadcasting. 700 is okay. You'll be fine. Disable coding while previewing. That's just if you're doing previewing in the stream. I'll explain that later. That's pretty much so you guys can set up stuff and look at different things. Don't need to worry about it really. And then you have keyframe interval. It's going to want you to put that at 2. It's going to recommend for broadcasting at 2. So just put it at 2. Leave it at 2. When you go to the encoding, and it's saying it wants to optimize, that's pretty much one of the settings that it's going to change. It's going to change your advanced settings. It's going to set it to 2. Audio, global sync, desktop. This will actually off sync your desktop audio if you need to. If you're trying to match desktop and mic, I've never had an issue. It runs smooth. But let's say your desktop is behind you, not like behind you, but like your desktop audio is a little bit behind from your voice or what you're talking about. You can tinker around with this. I set mine to 0. I never had an issue. But I'm going to go ahead and jump into this because this part right here is kind of important. All right. Do not mess with this if you do not have a high-end CPU. By high-end, I mean like you got a 4790K, a badass i5, an 8-core processor, you know, that kind of deal. Do not mess with this at all if you have, you know, a mediocre to lower-end CPU, because you can fuck your CPU up pretty good running this. This is going to take up pretty much all your CPU if you mess with this the wrong way. I leave mine on very fast because I have fast internet. If I wanted to, let's say I had crappy internet, you can take this down to faster. It's going to give you this warning. This warning straight up says, changing the x64 preset can have a severe negative effects on your stream quality and your CPU usage. Do not use this setting unless you fully understand the consequences of how the preset affects your stream. Treat any guides that suggest changing this with caution. You should almost never need to change this option from default very fast. Are sure you want to change the preset? We don't need to change it. What this does is this allows your CPU to encode your graphics a little bit slower, and like pretty much what it's saying is it's going to make your stream look better before it broadcasts. And instead of allowing your internet speed to keep up with what you're broadcasting, it's going to make your CPU take up the slack for that. Okay, I don't think you guys probably understood that. Some of you probably did, but let me see if I can explain it differently. That makes me sound less idiotic here. So if let's say somebody's got like 100 megabytes internet, okay, and I'm using 100 because we're just going to make it an easy number for me to explain. So let's say hypothetically 100 megabytes somebody's broadcasting with is 100 megs, okay? And you have it on very fast, so all it's doing is any graphics, they're allowing the 100 megabytes, just take your graphics and travel it to somebody else's computer and make it look so pretty and beautiful, and they love the way your stream looks. And let's say somebody has 1 megabyte and they're trying to broadcast it, and they're like, it doesn't want to touch the computer, it's not going to make it. It's going to be like this. It's going to when you change it to very fast or faster or fast, it's going to take the graphics, it's going to make it pretty and say, okay, you're beautiful. You're just going to take a while to get there now. And then it's going to be there, and it's going to get to the computer. I don't know how else to explain it to you guys. But pretty much, if you're running like, if you can only run like, let's say 1500, not even 1500, let's say like, yeah, probably about 1500 upload. If you're running 1500 kilobytes upload, you can change this to fast, and it's going to make your stream look a hell of a lot better. If you can run it at least 2000, just leave it at very fast. The reason but I mean, like I said, if you got a beefy CPU, but you got crappy upload speed, you can change it to faster. It's not going to break your computer. I'm making it sound worse than what it is. But what it's going to do is it's going to take up a lot of your CPU usage. So if you want to use like notifications with certain things, it might not affect it if your computer can handle it, but it could cause high CPU usage, and you might get a warning, and it might, you know, it might just crash on you. Pretty much, that's the worst thing it's going to do is probably crash. Hopefully, it doesn't freaking cook your CPU. But like I said, if you got a mediocre to lower end CPU, don't change this. There's no reason to. Use custom frame rate. That falls back into this here. Your frames per second. Oh, and there's another thing I didn't realize. Some computers have this thing called Arrow. You can try to enable it. And if you don't know what Arrow is, it's because your computer probably don't have it. And if you go to this setting and Arrow is gray like this, that means your CPU doesn't support it. So, or your graphics processor. So if you are going to be using pretty much, if you're using a graphics card, you're not going to be using Arrow. If you're using like a graphics processing unit that's like, you know, built on your motherboard or whatever, then yeah, this probably will be an option for you. You can try it. It might work for you. So most people I talk to, they say it's garbage. Pretty much what this does is it's just another video adaptation for your graphics to be broadcasted. So I cover noise gate. Browser something you don't need to mess with. That's something that 99.9% of you are not going to mess with. Everything else here is pretty much customized to what the optimized settings are for when you go to encoding or whatever. Yeah, when you go to encoding and it asks you to optimize the settings, it pretty much optimizes everything you need in advance. Like I said, you can change your priority to high if you want to, or above normal. Don't change it to idle. Leave it alone there. Just normal or above. And you can change this to, I recommend either faster. If you have a beefy, like if you have like an i7 like me, you can put it on fast. It's not going to come. I wouldn't go to this shit because it's going to affect your stream dramatically. Because it is going to make it a little bit harder for you to broadcast stuff. But if you go like here and you got a beefy CPU like on faster or fast, it's going to be able to encode it. But like I said, use very fast and just stream in 2000. If you're partnered, there's no reason you need to do this. Just, you know, stream on faster, or just stream on very fast and put your stream speed either to like 3000 or 3500 and just let people use the quality options to degrade it if they need to. Bind interface, leave that on normal. You guys don't know any of this stuff is. Latency tuning factor, you don't need to mess with that. All this stuff is your network crap. Don't worry about it. And global audio is off sync. This is another way to also put timestamps. If you don't know what a timestamp is, pretty much it tells you like audio keys of what time stuff's hitting, so you can try to match your audio up with your voice. Don't mess with it. Like I said, you can just go ahead and go to audio, and you can actually you know, you can tinker around with your mic offset in milliseconds. You can go back here. So that pretty much covers everything in the settings menu. You're probably like, oh my god, Andy, what the hell? So much, Andy. Yeah, it is a lot, but you know what? If you want to broadcast with OBS, you gotta deal with it. Now you got this stuff. So somebody just got a message, and they're probably gonna be my video. I sent somebody a gift who supported me in my stream. So I made this thing called YouTube. So what you guys gotta do is right click, hit add scene. First thing you gotta do. Then when you add scene, it's going to ask you to name it. Blah, blah, blah. Can we make this like, okay, there we go. So I can make this, we'll just call this video. Oh, you know what? I can't switch off it. So I want it, pretty much I want here, and I named this YouTube because this is for the YouTube video. So you just type in the name thing, hit okay, and then boom, this scene will pop up right here. Then you're going to have this stuff called your sources. And what this is pretty much when you right click, you can go over here and you can hit add. These are plugins, by the way, like we were talking about. I'll explain those in a little bit more in a minute. But let's say I want to add an image to my stream. We can call this we'll call it picture. I know there's a million of me. Bear with me here, guys. So let's just go ahead and click picture, and then boom, it's going to bring this up here. I'm not going to get into how to key out colors and stuff, but I can show you a little something on how to do it. So we can go to browse. Let's just pick a picture. We'll pick this one, Andy Kinda 88. So boom. And then let's say blah, blah, I accept. Okay, that's what I want. Now it's going to show you this picture right here. So we want this picture to actually be back behind here because you guys want to be able to see it. So now we got a picture, okay? Now, I'm going to show you something else here. I hope you guys can see this. Oh, no, you can't. Let me go ahead and just do this here for you so you guys can see. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Bear with me, guys. Bear with me. All right, so you guys saw the thing that said picture, okay? So we're going to go ahead and go back to picture. What I did was, if you check it and uncheck it, it's going to pretty much say you want it to show or you don't want it to show. So you can go to picture, you right click it, go back to properties, and we can pick a color key. Well, we can make, or we can change the color to change it. So let's say I want to put green over what I had there. We can click green and then hit OK and then click picture. And now it's going to have a green overlay. It's actually going to put a layer of green over whatever I selected. So we can go here. If you want to be transparent, you just go back to white, and that will make it transparent again. Okay. You can also change the opacity. So if you want to, you can make it, you know, more see-through or whatever. Just something else you can do in your stream. So let's say you got this picture of yourself, but you want yourself to look blue. But you don't want to make it completely blue because it'll hide you completely. You can change the opacity down to like 85, and then you can go ahead and pick a color if you like. Now this is another thing. This is called use color key. What this is going to allow me to do is, this is going to allow me to select what color I want to key out. What it means by that is, whatever color I select, it's going to make it transparent on the stream. So if you got something that says, like, let's say my name, Andy Conda, and then I want to take out the white behind it so it's transparent, you just click color, you want to select, you know, white, and then you want to make the similarity probably around 50 to check it first. So we'll make it 50. Boom. We'll hit 50 and then we'll enable it. Now you guys can see it says Andy Con. Oh my God, chat. I'm so sorry for this. Multiple Andy Condas everywhere. There's lots of Andy Conda faces and there's lots of Andy Conda names. So pretty much down. So now you can have this up in your overlay if you like to, saying Andy Conda. So if you make something with a white background, you can actually key it out and it can look pretty on your overlay. So that's just a small setting. So now we can go to, so that's pretty much it there. Hi, honey. Wait a second. I'll help you out in just a sec. That's a lot of us, isn't it? Yeah. You know you're going to be in a video, right? But anyway, so yeah, that's pretty much it, you guys. That's how to add pictures. You can also add, you can play around with it. You can add, you know, a text file. You can hit OK and hit like, you know, pick different fonts. And then all this stuff is just basic, like, you know, common stuff that you see in like Microsoft Word or whatnot, background colors. If you want to have an outline on stuff, so we can just, for, you know, shits and giggles, we'll make a blue text. Or here, we'll just make it red, actually. And we want in 100%, we don't want anybody to see this background. So we don't want any black behind there. We want this completely through there. And you can type in like, we can type in YouTube. Not YouTube, Annie, YouTube. And then you can actually make an outline. So we'll make it the thickness of that, you know, 4. And then now, bam. We got a... get over here, and then you can extend it. I recommend if you write names, don't do this. A lot of people do that and then enlarge it. Don't do that. What you want to do is, and you can right click pictures and go to that, or you can go down here and you can right click it, and you can do this as well. Like I said, you get a bunch of text fonts, but I recommend move this out of the way and then blow it up to the size you need, the actual font size. That way it doesn't look all blurry and crap. You notice the difference? It's a lot more cleaner and prettier looking. But guys, that's pretty much it. And then if you guys have a capture card, like I do, you can go here, right click, add, and this is for your camera or your capture card, video capture device. And let's say, it's not going to let me do it, but you can type in face cam if you want your face cam, if you got your camera hooked up, or capture card if you want your capture card hung up. You can click that, and then it's going to show your Elgato or your Logitech, whatever you guys want to use, and you can just add that stuff. And that's pretty much it. I mean, I don't know what else I need to teach you for streaming. Like I said, if you got any more questions, guys, ask down below. This is going to be like an hour-long video, and I know I got a bunch of hiccups and stuff in it, and I'm probably not going to do a lot of editing because I just want to get this out there for you guys. This is more for my viewers that have been asking for it, but yep, I finally got it out here for you guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you found it informative. I hope it helps you. But yeah. So that is pretty much it, you guys. I hope it's everything you guys needed. And I hope you guys enjoyed this a lot. I added all kinds of stuff. I don't know what to do now. But guys, like I always say, I'm going to blow myself up. That's another thing you can do. By the way, if you click on something and you click edit scene, You can grab the corners of it and you can adjust it for size, but I'm sure you would figure that out anyway. Well, guys, that's pretty much everything on OBS for the most part. There's a couple more things I didn't explain. If you're curious about what CLR browser does or plugins on how to get them, I can go in a little more depth. It's just this video is almost an hour long and I kind of got to cut it. But if you guys once you guys get that far, if you guys want me to make another video like this explaining CLR browsers and shit like that, just let me know in the comments below. Like this video if you found it informative at all or helped you out. If you guys can, please follow me on twitch.tv/AndyKinda88. I broadcast all kinds of different games, most of the time zombies, but lots of other different games. If you guys can, please come on my Facebook page and give it a like. It's also AndyKinda88. And if you guys can, follow me on Twitter at AndyKinda88. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys for doing so, and I will see you guys on Twitch or in the next video. I'm going to push the button now. Thanks for watching. Bye. Bye.